I'm almost home, so I'm.
Welcome to Yerba Talks.
Welcome to another part 2 of our video review. I am Max. This is Kat. And we already have Isa with us. Hello.
He got his new start.
Oh, you are roboting
I
a
will
bit.
do it.
Oh, no, you're roboting. I'm sorry. Couldn't get that. All right. So today we're finishing our review of the debate between Inspiring Philosophy and who was this other guy? Jvnior, that's the one. And one sec. Modern day debate. There we go. Isa is indeed a robot now. He has been cyborgized. Videos. Yeah, here we go. No. Why you do this to me? No. We were Why are you there you go. Sorry. It wasn't I clicked on the video and it started playing from the beginning, but we're all good now. All right, we're going to dive right in. Before we do that, make sure to do the social things, like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, send this to your significant other, go to the corner, yes, the corner of your street, and yell, subscribe to Yerba Talks. And that way we can share the love for the channel. Isa has indeed been... Oh, shoot, I froze. Sorry. Isa has indeed been replaced by AI. Bearded Doctor, I emailed you today. I haven't checked if you got back to me, but Doc, we can all get together on Thursday at 8 p.m. if that works for you. If not, we would have to push it to the following week, but feel free to let me know here or on the next on the email. And if that works for you and we can set that up, it would be not a debate at all, just a friendly chat like we were having when we did this video the first time. All righty. Today I was bored in the afternoon and I did a stream on my main channel, making some music that I plan to present to a contest. So if you're interested in knowing how I do the music that I have on my Spotify and so on, you can take a really good look about that on my main channel, MXXXD. And just a few minutes ago, we were over at the Drunk Debunk show speaking with James from Grounded Extracts. That was pretty awesome. And now we're here. All right. Let's get set up. Chrome tab. Boom, boom. There we go. Put this on full screen. Basil says, is Isa wearing his seatbelt? Yes, he wears his seatbelt. He fulfills the law of wearing his seatbelt. That's why he still has it on. Shout out to Drew the Crybaby. All right.
5-minute rebuttal. I have the timer set for you, Mike, on your first word.
Well, this has never happened before where my opponent conceded the debate, but thank you. I appreciate that. As everyone was clapping, yes, you conceded the debate because you said, yes, Islam causes more violence. And in your prior opening statement, you said, yeah, there's less education. All right, so you've conceded that. So anyway, now he says this is a
Silly. Muy comico.
Yeah, like get a grip. It's rebuttals. I'm not a fan of a two rebuttal thing. I think that when that happens, and also when it's like the 90-second timed sections for each one, I find that extremely boring.
massage.
I feel you.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said me too. I feel you. I'm with you on that.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like conversations are not like that.
Isaiah 4:6. Did Mossad write the Bible? Isn't it sacred scripture for Christians? Wasn't it written in Hebrew? Oh,
Yeah, but you're not supposed to tattoo your body, my good sir. That's kind of my problem. Tattooed Christians, I can't figure it out because it's very clear about the don't get markings for the dead, and don't also in general don't mark your body.
okay, great. And by the way, Hosea 4:6 is my people are destroyed
Not
for
a
lack.
single person in the audience can
James.
read that.
Constrained to just Mike.
Yeah, like Jvnior,
Probably
come
I
on.
could, because I can read Hebrew, so I could read it, but
Yeah.
and I was in the audience, so
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there are people that speak Hebrew in the world, and then when you get those kind of things, it is funny to me. For example, you know, when people get kanji characters that say stuff, my first thought is like, you know, that actually that says soup, right? And then the other funny thought is that thinking of Chinese people getting just random words tattooed in English, like, I don't know, water, right? It's a funny thought. But
it is.
yeah,
I think it just makes those Chinese letters look cool. I don't think water looks nearly as cool as as one of those kanjis. You should get something like Tian, like heaven. That's a really cool symbol if someone wants to get a Chinese tattoo.
Oh, I forgot that it's all right. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Right, Monday is Thanksgiving. So yeah,
Thursday.
okay.
Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Yeah, we're coming to close to Thanksgiving. That's right.
Right. But wait, hold on, because I think did I mistype the day? I think I didn't write the day. I think I meant bearded doctor. I think I meant Tuesday, not Thursday. Hold on, let me double check my conversation with Dr. J. Tuesday next week. If that changes, then if not, it's okay. We can push it to the other week, and Dr. J will be available then. But never mind.
Speaking during Mike's
Tuesday,
rebuttal.
right?
yeah, thank you. Can
Sorry?
You don't need me that Tuesday, right?
No. The idea would be to have all of us, the team,
I would prefer not Tuesday because I'm going to go see Zootopia too.
Okay.
At like 8 o'clock on Tuesday.
Well,
any other day would be better for me personally, if that's possible.
It's okay, Dr. J. This upcoming Tuesday is the only day that Dr. J had available from what he told me. So we'll just push it to the following week, and we'll get that sorted. No problem.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I forget about Thanksgiving because I mean, I don't really celebrate it. I just know it's around this time of the year because I always have that day off.
you give me a little more time there? Yeah, this is Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. I have it on there to remind me so I don't make opening statements like that. All right. He says there's a hadith that forbid hitting women. He's right. This is the problem with the hadith. They're filled with contradictions. If you want to find a hadith that allows muta marriage, you can find it. If you want one that outlaws it, you can find it. I'm just simply pointing out. I didn't say the prophet.
For those of you who don't know, muta marriage is some sort of temporary marriage. Like people get married for let's say, I don't know, a weekend, and for money it has like a price. So it's a little bit like marriage prostitution. It's a weird concept.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
It's weird. Now, that being said, if two consenting adults want to do stuff like that, I honestly don't have a problem with it, because I don't have a problem with prostitution either, right? Tay says Thanksgiving is in October for Canada, so I never remember that the US Thanksgiving happens in November.
Tells Muslims to hit their wives. I didn't say that. I didn't say the Prophet hit his wives. I said there is a hadith where he does give permission. I also never said hit women. He brought up Surah 434, but according to the commentators like Ibn Kathir, that does refer to beating. He said it means if advice and ignoring her in the bed do not produce the desired results, you're allowed to discipline the wife without severe beating. So again, it's referring to beating, not severe. I'll give them that. That's still happening though. Okay.
Don't you love that argument? It's like, yeah, a love tap is good, but when does it, like, okay, when is it too much? Like, is a black eye too much? A broken jaw? Perforated eardrum? Let
How
me
about
know.
no? Don't do it at all.
How about
don't do it at
how
all?
about we don't hit each other? That would be my.
Why would
first,
you hit someone that you're in a relationship with? Like, that's crazy.
I don't get it.
No, I don't.
Like,
I wouldn't want to even, if I had
and-
kids, I wouldn't want to hit my kids. Like, I wouldn't
Right.
even believe in that. Like, it's crazy.
Hitting and insulting your partner are two things that I do not understand. Like,
It means
like
you've lost
it's
control.
one thing to say like, that was you're silly, or that was silly, right? That's fine, but just, I don't know, calling your partner stupid, that is just a little bit too much, and that is mellow, right? It's not. Basil for $5 says, "Is Isa on the run? I've never seen him in one place."
Yeah, I'm a busy bee. I was just at another event. I'm always in somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, he says event. I say booty call. That's a difference between us. My bro CK is in the chat. Hello, CK. We also have CJ, whose birthday was the other day. I hope you had a lovely time. And Charlie Welsh is here. YouTube, fix the screen names. Yeah, when you say I was at an event, it makes you sound like a terrorist. Just FYI. Sorry.
Really?
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's actually a sewing kind of event. It was super cool.
Sewing. Oh,
yeah, it was actually Palestinian sewing called tahriz. It's very cool.
Nice. To make clothes. That's
like
cool.
embroidery, to do embroidery.
Oh, okay. Oh, they do have some elaborate embroidery. Yeah.
I love Palestinian embroidery. It's super awesome.
He said earlier, I didn't say Jesus is coming back. Yeah, that's not the debate. Yeah, Jesus is coming back. But I mean, I could just say, you didn't say that the moon landing was real. Therefore, you must deny the moon landing. Like, this is absurd. Okay, that's not the debate. He said, I cannot prove Islam is not good. I did. And even if I couldn't, that
CK said are you actually buying peaches, or are you just working out your glutes? Because I don't understand. Peaches is my favorite fruit, just so you know.
what we call a fallacy. It's called the
Yeah, it's peaches is I buy 2 kilos of peaches, and I see it, I put on a movie, and I eat them all.
But actually, peaches too.
Yeah, they're
So
the
we'll eat
best.
peaches together. How does that sound?
Oh my, yes. Basil for $5 says, Isa sounds strangely interesting. Isa is eclectic. He plays video games and likes embroidery. Isa is his own box, and I think that's why I love him so much, because you always get a surprise.
And I have my Moroccan clothes on today, so
Oh yeah,
I have to wear it
Rocking.
for Jvnior. I'm wearing a robe like Jvnior too.
Rocking those. I wish I could wear those. No, Isa is getting booties. Got it. CK, we have now the actual booty call emoji that you can use. It's out there. It's the last one we added.
This is the
Argument
game
from ignorance.
This game here, if you know about this.
Oh yeah, I've heard you play on stream.
Oops, sorry.
I'm like, what the fuck is that sound?
Okay. You have to prove it's good. I don't have to prove it's not good. And I demonstrated a bunch of research that Christianity is better. He conceded Islam causes more violence. He said we're genociding Palestine. Again, we are not. I have said if there's one happening there, I fully condemn it. I do not know. There's so much propaganda going out there right now. I don't have time to research it. If there's a genocide, I completely 100% condemn it, and Israel should be ashamed. Okay. But again, so much propaganda has been going around. I have no idea what to say about this. If it is there, I fully condemn it, and I condemn Israel for it. There. Okay. He says in Islam, there's non-exclusive salvation. Great. Everyone be a Christian. You get to go to heaven in 2 religions now. You get the point? If we're going to heaven in Islam, but you're not going to heaven as a Muslim, okay, then that just is a great argument for Christianity, pragmatically speaking. Because now you profess Jesus as Lord, but you're wrong by some sheer luck. Guess what? You still go to heaven in Islam. Okay, you've covered the 2 world major religions. Congratulations, everybody. You did it. So yeah, there's that. I don't know what else to say here. I mean,
I don't understand that argument. Because I think that Jvnior was wrong when he said that non-Muslims can go to heaven. I don't think that's correct. What do you think?
He's quoting Surah Al-Baqarah, the 2nd surah. I believe it's verse 256, where it says, or ayah 256, where it says, if you are people of the book, if you're a Christian, Jew, or Sabian, and you believe in God in the last day, you have nothing to fear. So, yeah, the Quran does say that, but you could probably find other verses that might contradict that. It just depends, it depends on how you read the Quran. This is how you read any holy book. Like, you know me, I'm very honest. That's why you like me, I think, honestly. Like, because
now me, that the other day, remember, I don't remember when, but we were talking about how I technically, if you go by the strict definitions, I am not of the Mushrikun because I'm not a polytheist, but I'm also technically not of the Kafirun because I was never a believer and denied it. I was just always an atheist. So if you were Jvnior, what do you think he would answer if do I go to heaven or not?
And see, this is a really hard point too. For my study in Islam, there's not really a concept of atheist. Because, like, yeah, maybe people were atheists, technically speaking, but they didn't have these concepts. This is like a much more modern like, unless you were in like Greece and stuff, but like this concept of being atheist openly is a much more modern concept, as a collection, because people are like, of course you believe in gods and gods, God and gods,
right?
So this concept of saying, hey, it's just like being a homosexual, right? These ancient texts don't understand what homosexual is. What they say is that you can't do lewd acts. So you can't, that's it. You can't do backdoor action. You can't do backdoor action. Oral is a no-go,
Yes. But they didn't have the Greeks, for example, they used to have these massive orgies, everyone against everyone. But then they also had their wives. So there's this idea that you can be married and still have, sexual gratification from people of the same sex. But it wasn't, only a handful of Greek characters are known to actually fall in love with someone of the same sex. It's a handful of characters.
You're right.
Right. So this idea of like straight homosexuality was not the norm. It was the people just getting their rocks off.
I think a lot of people would have been like bisexual, like what we would call that. So they would explore.
But they would have a wife and have occasional. And this is, I saw a report about how even today in modern Islamic countries, groups of men that all have multiple wives and children, they will also get together and have a little bit of their fun. It's super under the table, it's super hidden, super secret, but they do that, and they don't consider themselves homosexuals because they have wives and children. So it is something that it's very hard to limit and define. But I think you're right with your assessment of like atheists. My personal opinion is that it's impossible that even back in the day when religion was the norm, there had to be someone like me who looks at it and says like, oh yeah, no, all of these are just stories.
But they might not have publicly stated it, but they would have felt that. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, it's a hard thing to say, oh, you can go to heaven as a non-Muslim. Like, wait, well, okay, let's test the limits on that argument. Like, okay, in Christianity, it's a little bit more clear, right? Basil says for $5 for you, but I'll take the first answer. What are temple prostitutes? I've heard it come up in debates about the Bible and homosexuality. That is a very ancient practice. The biggest case I've heard are the ones in Hinduism, that they were basically they were prostitutes that would take care of people in the temple, so sort of like a service. I don't know if it applies to like Bible, really. Do you have any thoughts on that, Isa?
I would think, from my understanding, it would be foreign religions. The Israelite religion would be completely hostile to this concept. But it probably, if it's mentioned in the Bible, I think it might be. It's the idea of why Israelites. It's like a warning to the Israelite. The Israelite cannot partake in these. You can't partake with these women. You can't. So it's interesting, like how America became very anti-black, or there's a lot of racism, and they're like, well, we can't mix races because the Bible says that. I'm like, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible commands the Israelite. It's not because of the color of their skin. It's because they're connected to practices that are against God. That's the problem. This is why the Israelite cannot be involved with these women, because these women are a part of communities that are doing sacrilegious things. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the problem. So the temple prostitutes would be referring to those kind of attacking. It's a polemic. These are ancient polemics against these other religions. And I think, like what you said, they're what are they called? Davidasis, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the, and that's complex. In some cases, they were doing that, and I would say it probably depends on the region and the area. But I feel our good friend Daniel is very like reductive in what he does. He's hyper reductive, but he doesn't do the same thing with Islam. And that's my and when we get to Javad Hashmi, he does the same thing too. Javad Hashmi, you're right. I watched the whole debate. He is correct in his assessments of ancient Christian communities, but he doesn't engage modern Christian communities. And he's not very fair with modern Muslim communities. Like he'll say, oh, white European nations came and invaded us. So I'm like, no. The Iraq-Iran war was not caused by evil white nations that did that. That was an internal problem. So, they're right and they're not right. You know what I mean? So it's like...
it was a weird... Because I hadn't considered the points that you brought up in the after show, but you made some very compelling points.
Thank you.
I was impressed with him by contrast with Daniel. But yeah, it's a tricky debate to hold, and he doesn't have like what we value, which is like, okay, this is my position, but these are also the weaknesses of my position that we need to face. Like, I am a descendant of Spanish people, and the Spanish did atrocities here in America, and I can't defend that, even though I have a paper that says that I'm of Spanish descent, right? And hopefully at some point I'll get my freaking passport. The bearded doctor said they were tied to sexual worship of gods and they were opposed to it in scripture. Yeah, the Greeks also had a little bit of that going on with the oracles and so on. So yeah, it is mentioned as it is being condemned, so not defended. Proby said that FTFE is live. You're testing my loyalty. Well, you can bounce back between us. I honestly saw that FTFE was live just a few moments before we started, because I was over at Mike's with Grounded Extracts and Mike in the Drunk Debug show, and then I stopped. I took a shower and I sat in the chair, and yeah, the rest. The show started right after.
There's not a lot of stuff to address here, because again, I have said, if we're going to study this, we look at it from a sociological perspective. We see studies comparing Islam, Christianity. Christianity always comes out on top. Okay. And all the studies I brought up always comes out on top. Therefore, Christianity is better. If Islam leads to less education, if it leads to more violence, that's the debate there. That's the end of the debate right there. He's conceded that point. Therefore, Christianity is better. He's not shown any way that.
Well, technically, no. If he could come up with other things that would make up the difference, it's not like a zero. You're not limited to those two criteria. But so far, Jvnior hasn't been able to refute any of this. I suspect that there is like a heavy-handed bias on either his interpretation of the things that he reviewed, or the studies that he's citing themselves. But we didn't get like a proper citation to actually like double check them, which is sus at the very least. But when it comes to this debate in isolation, yeah, like poor Jvnior, he's getting like absolutely roasted.
Well, I think what we need to really discuss about Jvnior is he's an influencer. He's an ex-influencer. He's an Instagram influencer. So what he does is he does what a lot of like TikTok Muslims and Instagram Muslims do, where they put sound bites, they put pictures, they look good in what they're saying. But this is not really, and it's like, this is the same problem I have with someone like Richard Carrier. Dr. Carrier is an academic. He's really good at writing books. He's a great scholar, but the debate modality doesn't necessarily show that. And like when we were having a conversation before, I do agree with you, ultimately speaking. I think a good debater and a good debate, you promote facts, right? Unfortunately, the platform of what we're dealing with, modern day debates, is not really interested in that. You know what I mean? They're not interested in having, like, you and I, that we value the same thing. Like, I want to hear truth. And anytime I make a mistake, I always want to fact check it. I could never do what Daniel Hakikachu does, where he goes and says blatant stories about like Hinduism, and it's like, and they're flagrant lies. And yes, there's a document that says it, but it's a complete misrepresentation of what is actually in the text. And then we spend our time fact checking, and we're like, dude, this is wrong. This is not true. Like, I think lying in debates are really bad, because then you're manipulating your audience and not telling the truth to your audience. And that's really, really bad. And even the way he represents Islam, I'm like, that is a representation, but there are Muslims that don't take that position. And I think if you see me as a debater on Islam, I always try to be honest. I'm like, yes, there are these dark elements that exist. Like people who might marry underage. I'm like, this is a problem that exists, but it's not a good thing. It's just something that's a part of the continuum, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, there's other parts too. Like, if any debate you see me on, like, I haven't debated Islam in a long time there, but when I debate Islam, I'm like, Islam is this large amalgam of multiple things, right? But you don't really see Muslim debaters doing that, do you, in general? I think I'm probably the only one that has done that on the platform, right? Where I'm like, and maybe Javed Hashimi does it a little bit, but he doesn't really engage. Like, in premise, he says it, but he doesn't actually explore it. You know, like in his debate, he kind of washes away all the complexity about Islam. He states it and he doesn't engage it. And he's like, but I'm not going to engage the complexity of Christianity. I'm just going to show you case all the bad stuff. So I'm like, it's lip service. You're giving a lip service to the academics, but you're not fully engaging it. You're not giving the nuance that you are claiming that you believe in. So I'm with you. I think we should tell the truth. And if we make mistakes, we try to fix those mistakes. But I think a part of what we're doing in debates is education, right? We're educating people on on our position, right? Of whatever we're debating. And we're supporting our friend, what was his name? Andrew, not Andrew. It was start with an A. The evolutionist. What was our friend's name? Who came? Austin. I knew it started with an A. But Austin came and we said, brother, we liked what you were saying, but you've got to make it so it's accessible for people. Yep. It's important to educate while you're doing this, but you got to do it where you make it simple and you're sharing your position. And a good faith debate is you have two people coming and trying to share information of their position, not trying to beat the other person, but saying, look, this is why I take this position, and here are the reasons why, right? That's what a good debate is. And you try to learn. You learn from your opponent and say, well, maybe let me persuade you of my position. But most of the debates we see, it's just like getting the audience to go, you know what I mean? That's usually what we're seeing, which is kind of problematic, you know?
Basil said Carrier is not in the academy. Last I remember, he was supporter funded.
What does that
mean?
But
what Isa meant is that like he's a scholar. He writes papers that go for peer review and so on. That's kind of how he meant it. Not if he's supported by the academic institution, like as a thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
He is like a scholar, like an academic. He's written papers, books, gives talks, and so on.
That Islam is better. I need to see some actual data. His opinions are not good enough. And I want to reiterate, I'm not accusing him of all the problems I brought up. He is a Western Muslim. He's influenced by the West. He is a good person as far as I can tell. He's not beating his wife as far as I can tell. And I would never accuse him of that without actual clear evidence of it. So I just want to be clear about this, okay? I'm going on what the actual data shows. If you're offended by the data, you're offended by facts. This is a debate about the research. If you're going to debate which is better, you need to come with actual facts, because this is a sociological debate, not a mere religious or philosophical one. That is the most important point here. And if we're conceding that there's less education, more violence in Islam, game over, Christianity creates better societies. And again, the results speak for themselves. Where is everyone immigrating to? The world, the society, the civilization.
No. People are not moving to the U.S. because it's a Christian nation. They're moving to the U.S. for an economic factor, a social factor of like freedom, which is, we've been criticizing that you've hijacked a couple of things there, my friend. So no, it's more of an economic factor than that people move to the U.S. No, you're wrong there.
That Christianity built.
I want
the society we built that ended slavery.
Yeah.
I want to say something too. First, I want to do show and tell for my great Spanish brother. Look at this. I got some tacos.
Tacos. I've never tried a taco.
Oh, really? These are called birria taco. I got them at my university while I was out there.
Yeah, there are like absolutely zero Mexican restaurants here.
Really?
Yes. The thing is that Uruguay is in a weird spot. There is a song by a group called El Cuarteto de Nos, no translation, but well, basically the Quartet of Ours. That's the translation. It's nonsensical, but never mind. They have a song that says we are not Latin, which is kind of true. When you compare Uruguay to other Latin countries, we are us and maybe potentially Argentina, we are the least Latin that a Latin person can be. So we don't have Mexican restaurants. We have a couple of Peruvian, Bolivian have popped up, but no Mexico.
Interesting.
Basil says they're moving here for the Mormonism.
That's so silly. That was a good one. I like that one.
Yes.
I mean, I think this is a fair critique. The thing of what's happening here is there's sort of a conflation between, I guess, modern secularism and Christianity. And yes, a lot of Christian traditions are modernized and secularized. Like, they're kind of interconnected. It's hard. Then you can't really insult secularists too, because they're all a part of the same community. So you could say, well, it's a modern secular society with Christianity, Christian people in it. You know, it's like with that, you could make that point, but it's weird because I don't think that these are Muslim societies either. I wouldn't call it Muslim versus Christian. I would say
true. These
are more like developed. I'm not going to say civilized. I think that's a loaded term. They're more developed, secularized nations, right? Democratic nations, right? Versus theocratic, totalitarian nations. That's a more fair assertion to say, oh, they're Muslim. Well, what kind of Islam?
Right.
Militant, pan-Arabist Islam? That's not all Islam. That's a kind of Islam that exists. So it's like, I wouldn't get really in this debate. What's better, Christianity or Islam? I agree with Javed Hashemi's argument. And I'm like, why are you debating this, dude? Like, that was so dumb. I'm like, I take your position on this, Javed, where you're like, this is nuanced. Mm-hmm. How do we look at this? And I'm like, and I'm sure you agree too, Max, that none of these religions are good or bad. They're neutral. It's people themselves of how they manifest,
Mm-hmm.
But, they all have good stuff in the history and bad stuff.
Yeah.
And
you can interpret many different ways. So like the text itself, you can say like, oh, it doesn't like for the Bible, it doesn't ban slavery. Okay. That's true. But then it also codifies that you can't just go around beating your slaves to death. So there are, sprinkles of good and sprinkles of bad. And most people today would say that slavery is not good. And they can justify it using the Bible. Like we talked about the abolitionist movement and the slavery movement, both had biblical justifications for the position. So I don't think you can blame the religion itself when you have so many different interpretations. And I was remembering when you were talking about these Muslim countries, remember that group of crazy Salafi Wahhabis? They were saying that there wasn't enough Sharia even in the Muslim countries, while living in America, mind you. But it is hard to label this as Muslim countries because they have they have had to accommodate for international trade and international law, and a lot of their hardcore customs have loosened up quite a bit. Every once in a while, they do something that is appalling to us, but they have softened up very much. So it is tricky to categorize all of this stuff. Basil said, no Taco Bells there. Sorry. No, zero Taco Bells. We just got KFC this year. And for the longest time, the only fast food chain that was around was McDonald's. And there was one Subway that had been open since I was a kid until now. It remains open. But all of the others had closed. And then about, 10 years ago, Burger King came back because they had left the country. So yeah, we're not that Americanized in that sense. But fortunately, we got KFC. All the times I've gone to the shopping center where the one near me is, it's been packed to the brim, and I'm not waiting in line for chicken. No freaking way. Have you eaten guinea pig? I wouldn't eat a rodent unless I was absolutely starving. But yeah, in Peru they eat guinea pig. They call them cuyos, Cuyos. But yeah, the idea of eating a rodent sounds awful. Industrial Nerd says, I had the best breakfast pizza in Uruguay. It is a very poor thing to do, to save the leftovers of pizza from the previous night and have them for breakfast the next day. So yes, I've had that. I've had that.
Did you know the
before.
founder of KFC, Colonel Sanders, was an actor, like in movies from like the 60s and 70s?
No.
Yeah, he was an actor. He sort of did like the DJT, where he was like a cameo in certain films. Yeah. He was one of the earlier kind of guys who did that, like very famous cameo types.
Basil says for $5, thank you so much. Oh no, you know the anecdote about countries which have Taco Bells never sinking each other's boats? Dude, the Uruguay army, like, no joke, the US could send, let's say, 500 Navy SEALs, and you could literally take over the whole freaking country. Our army is such a national shame. We couldn't really sink a boat, even if we tried.
That gave value to children, that fostered and helped develop modern science, that educated the world by creating hundreds of written languages around the world so people could read the Bible. Okay, this is
what? No. Action replay. Hold on. What the fuck did you just say?
That fostered and helped develop modern science, that educated the world by creating hundreds of written languages around the world.
No! Bullshit! No, Christianity doesn't create languages. You translated the Bible to many languages, sure, but languages happen, you absolute freak liar. What? What? No. Bad IP, bad. You get a slap in the face. No. Oh my. That's why I don't like this guy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
World so people could read the Bible. Okay? This is the religion that has made the world great.
Yes, that is accurate. There are linguistic institutions that take the verbal language and create written languages.
So do you agree with what he said?
No.
Do you think that Christianity is the religion that has made the world great?
No. But I'm honing in on this claim about languages. Like, languages happen. People make languages, not Christianity. No.
Well, the point is, I've discussed this, and I think you agree with me. Christianity is really Judaism. Let's just call it what it is. This term Christian comes later. It's about mystical Jews who went on a mystical journey. These people were ascetic. They didn't care about society. They were not interested in building societies. I agree with the inclusion that you put in. They were apocalyptic. That's who they are. They were mystical, apocalyptic Jews that wandered, that traveled and had like kung fu spiritual travel time around the Middle East. That's what it was. But like, we're trying to say that these are people that were interested in establishing nations and having, birth rates. I'm like, when I hear these arguments, I'm like, did we read the same text? Because that's not what these people did in this text, including Paul in this too. None of these people were interested in developing societies, in creating schools and having families and do none of that that's not the interest of this text or this tradition. So it's very bizarre to hear the argument that, yeah, this society really wanted to develop advanced societies where people would be educated. Like, that's not what's there. You know, you can make a lot of pro arguments about spiritual growth and becoming a better human. Like, that's what this offers. But you can't say it offers education and advancement in society. That's not what this religion or text is into.
But my counter argument to that would be that it's not Christianity. It was just the development of new technologies. So when you have to fight less to survive, then you have more time to just sit and think. If you don't have to go and hunt and do this and that, you don't really have to worry. Basil said, God made English as in the King James. And then the bearded doctor said, they use the Bible to when they make those written language. He didn't say they made the actual language, but that they created the written portion of a verbal only language. But he didn't say that. He didn't say that. That's not what he said. And I'll play it again.
Fostered and helped develop modern slavery, that gave value to children, that fostered and helped develop modern science, that educated the world by creating hundreds of written languages around the world so people could read the Bible.
Hundreds of he didn't say written. I missed the written part.
But you know what's weird about that, though? It's like, again, I don't think that's the intent of this tradition. I think the intent of the tradition was, first of all, they spoke in tongues. So the idea was that they didn't need to learn languages, is that God manifested these divine, like, tongues among the people. You know, that's one of the miracles that occurred, but it was not about education. That's what Christian people did do, but that's not what the religion in and of itself, the essence of the tradition, did. That's what later followers decided to do. But it's like, if we're looking at the essence of this tradition, it's literally what I've said, what you've agreed with. These were mystical Jews in the Middle East that were teaching wisdom. They were not concerned on having children, and that's not a part of the text. It's not a consideration. They don't care about society and building an advanced society. They're waiting for God to come. You get what I mean?
True,
like, it's so bizarre that they're like, I want to develop society. I'm like, they don't care about that. Does Jesus care about, like, let's have a sophisticated democracy where people can vote in elections? Is that anywhere in the text? No, because they don't care. They don't care about that.
They didn't have elections also. They didn't even know about the concept of election. That came much, much later.
Yeah, it's just
Hold
not
on.
there.
Because I found this, and unless this is wrong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's 8 languages they helped, like, develop writing systems for, and it's Gallitic and Cyrillic alphabets in the 9th century, the Armenian alphabet around 405, Gothic alphabet in the 4th century for the Gothic people, the Ge'ez classic Ethiopic script in the 4th and 5th centuries. So, I guess it's not hundreds of them.
Okay, this is the religion that has made the world great.
With that, we will switch it over to Junior for his 5-minute rebuttal as well. The timer is set for you, Junior.
Thank you.
Is it illegal to buy or sell dog and cat meat in Uruguay? I don't know, but probably. I mean, we have, like, there's 4 cows for every person in Uruguay. There's no need to eat dog or cat. I think it's illegal to kill them also. Hold on. Illegal comprar y vender carne de gato o perro en Uruguay. 1 second. Yes, it's illegal. And mostly because you can't sell live animals, and meat you're only allowed to sell in the butcher shop. You need like a license to sell meat. So yeah, no, you can't do that here, which is good.
The same religion responsible for the Holocaust, by the way.
Basil said, pretty sure invented the calculus because he was a Christian. Maybe his alchemist beliefs came from the Bible too. Wait, isn't the story that he invented calculus because there was a pandemic and he was like locked in, right? But is there any way to directly connect Christianity to the development of calculus? I don't think so.
Is that Newton you said?
Yeah, Newton. And then the
He
bearded
was like a
doctor says,
deist.
I lived with a group of linguists that did that for smaller groups that had no written language. It was honestly fascinating to see how they did it. Yeah, like the development, the one I really know about is Tolkien developing the language of the elves and the script for it. Oh, sarcasm. Got it. Okay.
Look, I'll be honest, Michael. Honestly, debating you is way too easy because
No, Junior. Come on, some awareness. No, way too easy. All you did was cry, and don't get me wrong. On a human level, I'm sympathetic to your suffering, but on a debate level, and I'm sorry because I'm going to yell it. Who cares? That's the answer. Like, who cares? Like, you made an appeal to emotion, an anecdote about your life. That's not how you debate. That's about it.
look, I'll be honest. You ran out of things to say. You retracted your statement condemning the genocide in Gaza. You said, if
Not the debate again.
there's a genocide in
It's
Gaza,
also not true.
I condemn it.
Let's be fair here. He didn't. This is kind of like, I don't know what you. It's a dishonest tactic. It's
Yes.
I feel IP said in good faith. IP was like, look, I don't have the information on this. I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying, but I'm not going to be arrogant enough to say that you're false, right? So he's saying, if something like that happens, then I'm with you. If it's not, I'm not with you.
Right.
Jvnior is making the assertion that that is what's happening.
I mean, you could accuse him of being a little bit wishy-washy. Like, dude, you're telling me you don't know what the fuck's going on? Come on, like, get real. But he said if. So, I mean, you have to acknowledge that he said if. You can, like, maybe pounce a little bit on the if, but that's about it.
But it's not really a part of the debate. And I would say, look.
It's not part of the debate, that's for sure.
And if you're going to debate this, you could say, look, there's a war going on here. Is war equal to genocide? That's a question. When America invaded Iraq, they killed like 4 million people. Did America do a genocide to Iraq? When America bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, tens of thousands of people killed, more than what's happening in Gaza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that genocide? So this is the question. Is it genocide?
And that always happens when you have two very disparaged armies, two armies with vastly different capabilities.
You're correct.
One usually annihilates the other.
And is that genocide? That's the question.
That is not, like, it doesn't fit the definition of genocide.
And I would say that argument you said, that's the valid one. It's a disparaged. It's just that you have two forces with completely disparate powers, right?
Yeah.
And what they can do. So I think it's war with very disparate forces.
Exactly.
And I think when people say, oh, it's genocide, you would then have to prove Israel's intent to annihilate the Palestinian people. There's a big problem with that argument, though. If that were the case, then Israel would have to annihilate its own Palestinian population. 20% of the population is Palestinian. They're Palestinian Israelis. So, or Israeli Palestinians, whatever term you want to use. Do they annihilate their population of Palestinians? No. So, like, you can't call it genocide. You can call it, you know, what we just said, like disparate forces who are, and that's an accurate. See, you and I are honest. We strive to be honest, and we value.
I try.
We strive for it. We value it. A lot of people in these platforms do not value it. Like what this statement here is, it's not a valuing of honesty. That's not an honest approach to just say they are doing, and it's like an emotional manipulation. They are doing genocide. Well, okay, if that's the debate about Palestine and Israel, then we can make a contention of what is genocide, right? But you're not talking about genocide. You're talking about what is better for society, Christianity or Islam. And I'm sorry, like, he's passionate, but this is not the right argument for this debate. And Daniel Hakikachu does it, and Javed Hashmi does it. And I'm like, why are you debating Palestine? Because if you want to debate geopolitics, then you're in trouble too. How about if someone brings up Pakistan and Somalia and Sudan? Like, it doesn't end well if you take this position. Everybody has skeletons in their closet. There's not some good guy here. There's a bunch of bad guys, you know?
Yeah, we're all crazy.
Morally gray.
Here. And of course, genocide is triggering language. Yeah, hashtag appeal to emotion, which, I mean, it's not an argument. I'm going to nudge this to 1.25 because I have one more hour today. At 11, the Las Vegas Grand Prix starts, and I want to watch it. So
you have been exposed to the whole world today, Michael, and you don't even know it because you're so arrogant. You're so arrogant that you read a Hebrew verse to your English audience, and you expect one of them to read it. Nobody can read this verse. Nobody can read Hebrew.
Fuck's sake. The debate is not about his tattoos. Like, seriously. You could bring up, it would be a better fact for you to say that you could make the argument here that you're a hypocrite Christian because the Bible literally says not to tattoo your body. You could make that argument. But no, you're talking about the thing being in Hebrew.
Hebrew in your audience. You have a Hebrew tattoo and you're showing it off. That's a simple sign of your arrogance. Society is built by people, not by robots, not by systems. People. Michael, you have not shown me that you're a good person. I've shown you.
It's not a debate about who's a better person. Like, fuck. Dude, get back to the debate. Like, Jvnior, you should come to pimp my argument and we can fix all of this bull crap. Because this is just like, yow.
I did a good job of that. You did it. That's the difference. Muslims leave their house every day to show humanity that they can provide value, that they can add value. Because every single human being in this world is a stranger. Every single human being in this world has been created by God and is returning to God. No one is staying here forever. So to tell me that Muslims who literally do not fear death are bad.
Oh my fucking God. What?
That's not even true. That's
martyrdom now? Like, seriously, you think there weren't martyr Christians?
No, and it's also a bad case for Islam too. You're making Muslims look like violent beasts.
Right?
All we care about is killing and being killed for the sake of God. And oh my God, it's a terrible argument.
Terrible, yeah.
Terrible. You remember you told me about that Witzit's not a good debater, but the people he's battling, they punch themselves out.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you said that, right? I feel this is exactly what is happening here.
This is exactly what I'm thinking.
This is a punch out. He's punching himself out.
He's punching himself, like making shit argument after shit argument,
against
not
himself.
Related to the debate. This is IP could have said Christianity is better because I said so. And he would still be with a bad argument. He would still be leaps and bounds ahead of this guy who is not even talking about the topic of the debate. It's not about if you are a good person. It's not about how tough Muslims are, that they're not afraid of death and so on. Yeah, it's just he's self-inflicting wounds one after the other.
for humanity? No, my friend. You need people to die for Jesus. You wouldn't die for Jesus, Michael. I would. I would die for Jesus.
Not the topic of the debate either. It's like
And a bad argument.
in a better society, neither of you would have to, in an actual good society, neither of you would have to die for your beliefs. And guess who you have to thank for that? The secularists. So you can both suck it. Sorry, I had to get in my jab there.
If Jesus returned and told me to march for him, I would march for him. If Jesus told me to die for him, I would die for him. But you don't understand why a Muslim would think that. How come a Muslim is thinking that? He clearly has to be a good Muslim, right? The bad Muslims clearly say something else. The bad Muslims.
The only thing I can say, Jvnior, that's a dope fade. That's about it. Congratulations to your barber. Other than that, this was a mess. I'm going to play this for a moment. I need to get water because my throat is a little bit raspy.
Cool. You're good.
Would never say what Jvnior says. Jvnier's a heretic. He doesn't speak from the Quran. Let me show you a verse from the Quran. Whoever seeks a religion other than Islam, it will not be accepted from him. Can you debate that?
Dude, you just
Can you debate
contradicted
the
yourself.
verse that God revealed about religion? You're telling me that religion makes society better? Or is it the person? Muslims, okay, have not been given a chance to show what they are capable of doing for society. Your algorithm on your feed that feeds you all the information that you know about Christianity was made by a Muslim.
No.
My man's
Come on.
he's doing ninjutsu now. You know, he's
Yeah,
doing all those
like
jujitsu.
his like, yes, the golden age of Islam, we have a lot to owe, like numbers and so on.
Who are Sufis? They're not the modern day Salafi. Most of
Right.
these Muslims who are debaters are modern day Salafis. There are people who hate gay people, who believe that people need to, women need to obey men. These Sufis did not believe this. You have female saints. Sufis are, and Sufis are connected to the modern, of course, some of them may have been a little bit more conservative, right? But they're a part of that same spectrum. But these type of people now would think the Sufis are heretics.
Right.
The golden age of Islam, they would try to kill them. That's why it stopped. It's because people similar to this disposition came to destroy them. They came to destroy the people who wanted to create progress. We should do a debate of Sufi versus Salafi. I think if I debated as a Sufi versus Salafi, I think I would easily defeat the Salafi. I'd be like, look, you don't have anything to offer. You basically have everything from our coattails, and what you offer is death and destruction. You don't actually offer the world anything good. The only reason why you're even alive now is because you just took oil money, and that's gonna at a certain point is gonna run out, and then you'll have nothing. So
Yeah. And they're not building they're not taking advantage. They're basically just like pilfering, spending the money and like kind of like wasting it, building artificial islands in Dubai rather than, I don't know, creating a future where you're not dependent on the oil, right? Because when that runs out, that's it.
you're done.
And if you don't develop agriculture and take advantage of, the big lands that you have with the desert and so on, if you don't, I don't know, maybe figure out a way to actually use that, one day it will run out, and where like you're just dooming your own culture, and that's not good. Look at what I think it was Norway that they used the oil they found as like to support their own people, not just wasting it in vain stuff. And then the doctrine of bid'ah, for me, that's the biggest hurdle when it comes to progressing science and that kind of thing. Like it literally, in my opinion, gets in the way of stuff. But we do have Muslims to thank for example, the distillation method. They developed the distillation method, which is used in many fields. And then they developed chemistry and metallurgy to some point and so on. But then they got in their own way with some of these doctrines.
Algebra. was made by a Muslim. The number 0 was made by a Muslim. Modern science would not be a thing if it wasn't for Muslims. Have some respect. We are both followers of Jesus. When you say that Islam is not better for humanity, it's because you're taking hadiths out of context. You prove that. You prove that there are hadiths that contradict what you said. I think you can see the debate, my friend. I think you really ended your career tonight, bro. You ended your career.
You ended your career. Like, oh my, look at this guy. He can't deal with, like, he's holding laughter so hard.
I'm a 27-year-old Palestinian Muslim that suffered genocide for 700 days. And you're calling me a bad person when you couldn't even.
He never said
did.
that.
He
That's-
never said that. Now
He said you said the opposite. He said you were a good person.
Yeah. And
Wow.
now you're, dude, now you're flat out lying. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
It's not
condemn the genocide
It's bad.
in Gaza. You said
which you
if
didn't do.
there's a genocide. If. Did my family die or not? Oh, let me check. Let me check the pictures if they died. Let me see if they're green enough for Michael to know that they're dead and they're severely harmed. I didn't cry on stage today because I don't have fear. The Bible says, do not be afraid 300.
Well, I mean, if you would have cried on stage, I would have lost my shit. Just telling you that. I mean, I think that out of the unorthodox things we have seen lately in debates, like literally crying is the only one left in my bingo card.
65 times. That means, why should you even have fear for a single day of your life? Why should you be afraid of being wrong? Why should you be afraid of making a mistake? Why? That's what Michael's trying to make you believe. That's what most Christians make you believe. You make a single mistake, you believe Jesus is not God. Guess what? No salvation for you, my friend. But in Islam, it's different. If you see God, your creator, without knowing him, he will have mercy over you. Michael doesn't believe that. But the Quran says that. The Quran literally explicitly states, that you will never enter heaven by your deeds or your works. And that religion is not compulsory. So Islam is better for humanity.
We're going to jump into the open dialogue.
I'm sorry, that's not really accurate. Like,
That sounds wrong.
On any classical Islamic theology, it's just like he's just like making this stuff up. Yeah, he just made that stuff up. He made that wholesale up. Like, he's like, you are. So if we take a classical Sunni approach or Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah approach, you are judged by that because every body part will testify against you. So if you did something wrong with your body, it will testify against you. And if you do good works, they will testify. Your body will testify for you, right? Depending on what you think, even if you do like sacrifices of animals for the sake of God, those animals will testify on your behalf. And there's this thing called the sirat. The sirat in Arabic means the path. And it's like this tiny metal string. It's like a tiny string, right? That's like a walk rope to getting to Jannah, right? And if you're good, you're able to cross that easily, right? But if you're bad, you may be sliced by the sirat and you go to Jahannam. You know what I mean? So it's like, what he's saying is not really accurate. Like, he also said that he just became Muslim again. Like, he was not involved in Islam and then he became Muslim again. So I think these are just kind of like his own beliefs. And he can kind of get away with it because there is no fact checker here, you know? It's not working well. Let's just put it that way. Let's keep going. We want to try to
give it a shot as a purely spontaneous dialogue, but if there are interruptions, I'll have to jump into 90-second responses. Floor is yours, gentlemen.
You said on X that Islam is against child marriage. Can you back that up?
Is there an age of marriage mentioned in the Bible?
That wasn't my question.
Answer my question and I'll answer yours.
No.
Okay, I won't answer your question.
You're not going
Oh boy. Dude, he asked you first.
to answer my question?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to say that Islam does allow and promote child marriage.
I would say that the legal age of consent in the United States was 12 years old in the 1900s and that America is a failed country by your logic. But I don't.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What's the age of consent now? And I have to say, The age of consent in my country is 14, and I think that is just like appalling because it lends itself to very disparate situations. But the good thing is that you don't have to like I don't have to do it. I don't like
Don't involve yourself with folks.
you don't have
that
to
are-
put yourself in that situation if you don't agree, right?
don't think that.
Wait a minute. Is it now?
No.
Then we made
America-
moral progress. Congratulations, everyone. Can
America's
Islam
not
do
a-
the same thing, please?
America's not a failed country. You know why? Because they changed the consent laws as the biological age of human beings.
Why did we
started
do that,
increasing. Why? Because if you have a society where the lifespan is 40 years old, the woman's going to get married at 9 years old, whether you like it or not, because she has only 30 years to
This
live.
is a false argument.
Whether
Nah.
So in Islamic tradition, the Prophet Muhammad was 63 when he passed away. The Caliph Abu Bakr was around 63. Umar was around 63. The Caliph Uthman was in his 80s. That's false. They say that their average age was 30 and 40. A lot of these people live pretty long. You know what I mean?
The higher classes, maybe the peasants and so on, would have a less life expectancy, maybe around 45 or so. But the counter, what IP said is like, yeah, we made moral progress. We understood that people, now that we actually live longer, people are not adults until they reach a certain age, right? And I think that's fine. That moral progress is good.
you like it or not, that is the reality of the world
So
in the past.
Wait, you think everyone was marrying at 900 years ago?
What age did Rebecca get married in the Bible?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Show me. Show me where it says the
What
age Rebecca was married.
Okay, what age did Mary give birth to Jesus in the proto-evangelical?
Probably
days?
late teens.
Late teens?
Yeah, according to the research
She
by
was a
Michael.
According to the research of whatever, he's going to cite some random person. Why should we believe them? The Bible doesn't say. And the only other gospel says is like, I don't know, I don't remember exactly if it's 12 or 14. But yeah.
Very young teenager.
Says who?
She was.
I mean, and then again, this is all customs. And also, I mean, one could actually make the argument that this is just a story, right? Like, okay, these are stories.
I
Like
agree with you.
Rebecca
You don't
didn't
know.
exist really. With Mary, you have there's more. It's more likely than not that she was a real person. But like the Bible doesn't say. So it doesn't really matter. Like, I think this idea that what he's about to say now, that Mary was in like late teens, like almost 20. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to grab my controller and press X to doubt very hard. Like,
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's a part of this thing that I've been learning about. It's called the Dawa script.
yeah.
And so they have this website that tells you all this kind of anti-Christian information that's not fact-checked, and they just repeat it. Because it's literally, I didn't learn any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that these people go to the same website, and they just basically read the script, and they think it will be effective because no one's going to fact-check it.
Well,
It's not true.
it's like flat Earth. It's effective if you're already in it, but if you're not, then you find problems with it like almost straight away. But the apologists have the same thing. Like the apologists have conferences and they talk about and they develop arguments, and you can see once there is a new argument, like for example, now we're seeing the proliferation of the Islamic dilemma, and you see it, someone presents it, makes it like kind of neat and pretty, and you will see the smaller channel, it starts spreading out, and like then it becomes part of the collective polemics attack on a religion, right? Was she a virgin or a young maiden? Well, no, the young maiden thing, that's on a prophecy that talks about the one about the Emmanuel. But it turns out that that's not a prophecy about Jesus. It's a prophecy about a woman that is already married, so she cannot be a virgin, and that she is like a dame that will have a son called Emmanuel. That's what I think I'm thinking you're referring to. The Talmud does say that Mary had sex with a Roman soldier named Pantera. And I think that out of that and Immaculate Conception, I mean, I know what I would choose as a more likely explanation of what the hell happened. Right?
Says who?
She was betrothed after her first
Bro, you should have
menstrual
watched.
cycle.
Bro, you should have watched.
She
my
was
debate
able
with
to become
Daniel
pregnant,
Kikichu.
and that's how she got betrothed to Joseph.
Yeah, actual
Women
research.
have to hit puberty in order to get betrothed to a husband. So when Aisha radiallahu anha was able to get pregnant, that's when she became eligible for marriage. She was previously engaged to
wanna
another
tell the
man
audience-
before.
Audience, put a clip note in all of this stuff he's talking about Christianity, because he tells us something a little bit later about his own background.
she was engaged to Prophet Muhammad.
All right,
Peace be
are you
upon
gonna
him.
let me respond, or are you
Go
just gonna
ahead.
keep going? Okay, so let's talk about the child marriage thing in Mary. Research done by Michael Satlow, Amram Trooper, shows that in Palestine in the first century, on average, girls were marrying between their late teens and early 20s. This idea that she was a young teen, not supported by the data out there. In fact, if you read books like Medieval Maidens, research by Keith Hopkins and Brent Shaw,
You literally just
That all sounds like apologetics bullshit. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Because there is literature on this shit. Like actual historical records. This just seems you're trying to whitewash ancient Christianity, which is not needed. You can just say, yeah, they married young. We understand now that that's not the way to go. Moral progress, and that's it. You're done. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to say that it was good. Just describe that, yeah, this is something ancient people did. We agree that it's wrong now because we understand a whole lot more about personal development and biological development and mental development and sexual development. This is just nonsense.
Well, see, the problem that I think about this whole position too is that it's a tu quoque. That's why we're even having this conversation. The argument was, you need to engage us with your own tradition, and he ran away from it. He's just like, well, you do it, okay. Even if he does do it, it doesn't mean that you're right. You know what I mean? And this is a lot of these, like Muslim Lantern does this too. We have to look at the Muslim Lantern debate.
Oh my God, yes.
Andrew Wilson, because that's all he does is just do tu quoques. He's like, well, I want to tell you that Christianity is so bad, and I'm like, and then Andrew actually caught him on it. It's like, even if my position's bad, your position's not right. You don't have any solution for your situation. And I think a lot of these Muslim debaters that I see, they're like not very good. All they do is just a bunch of tu quoques. None of them actually in Palestine, tu quoque, and chest thumping. These are like the three things. We should do Muslim debater bingo.
If you look at 10 years ago, the debate would have been like, yeah, the war on Afghanistan or in Iraq, in Iran, and that kind of a thing. Like, yeah, it's a hot topic of the moment. Basil asked the bearded doctor if he's a crazy Christian. My opinion is that he's not a crazy Christian, actually. He's quite sensible. He has some of his thoughts that I disagree with, but he's not one of the crazy, like, raunchy Christians. So I wouldn't say that. Then Basil for $5. Thank you so much, Basil. You, do you have an infinite money glitch? Like, dude, oh my! Thank you for all the support, though. Like, seriously, it's insane. And I hope you know that it's not needed. You can always tag me and I'll read what I find interesting in. But like from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I thought Christians rely on a verse in Isaiah to rationalize the Immaculate Conception. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. I might have got the prophet wrong, but the verse kind of goes there that. There's this young woman who is already pregnant and will bring up this baby that will be called Emmanuel. But that's what Christians refer to. if you ask, for example, Justin from Deconstruction Zone, and I agree with his assessment on that, is that is not a prophecy about Jesus, but about the people of Israel, like Israel as a nation, because it's talking about the Babylonian exile, and that there's this woman who is already pregnant, who is a young maiden, because of course not a virgin, because she's already pregnant, and that she will give birth to a son called Emmanuel. So yeah, I think that's what they, if you ask me, what they hijacked to make prophecies about Jesus. But if you also ask Justin from Deconstruction Zone, he would say that Jesus didn't fulfill a single prophecy. So when they talk about, for example, Jesus being a king, Jesus wasn't a king, like even for a day. So there's a lot to talk about there. Oh, thanks for the well, thank you. I mean, we like you're very engaging. The time that you came on and after show, we had a lot of fun, and that's why I'm looking forward to having you and all of the team of Yerba Mate Talks have that chat, because I find these topics very interesting, and you are very knowledgeable. I disagree with some of your thoughts, but no one can deny that you are knowledgeable.
Said
Let
she's
me
a young
finish.
teenager.
Let me
You
finish.
said she's a young teenager.
I said no. I said late teens.
Okay. Teenager.
Okay, yeah, late teens, early 20s. Okay,
Late teens is 4 years difference between early teen and late teen. It's 4 years.
Okay, now
12,
let's talk about
16.
Aisha. Let's talk about Aisha.
Let's
So
talk
you think
about
she
Aisha
hit
radiallahu
puberty? You say she hit puberty?
Yes. She
What's
did hit
the
puberty.
research that shows that?
The research shows that there are hadith mentioned where she played with dolls, and this hadith is very controversial and it's very important.
I'm glad you brought that
because
up. Yeah, that's great.
Oh my God, this is stupid as hell.
Old girls older than 16 years old are not allowed to play with dolls. She played with dolls. She was older than 16.
Wait a minute, wait. If she played with dolls, that means she's younger than that.
No. In Islam, it's forbidden to play with dolls if you are a teenager.
Yeah, that means when she was a child.
No, she wasn't a child because it was allowed in the household. She said that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, allowed her. If the hadith said, I was allowed to play with my friends with my dolls. Her friends were younger.
Here we are. Isaiah 7:14. The Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. Well, first of all, I mean, Jesus is not called Emmanuel, so we have a problem there, which, I mean, we could hand wave away somehow. Now, Justin's argument is that when we're looking at the Greek, that word there can be used to describe a virgin or a maiden. So this wouldn't apply to Jesus in two spots. But yeah, thank you for clarifying. I had the prophet wrong.
Let's keep going because we want to get.
Yeah, we want to finish. Emmanuel means God is with you. Yeah, but proper names are not based on meaning. Proper names, like, you can't do that. It's not a prophecy if you get the name wrong. Sorry.
She was the oldest. She was the scholar. She was the one who served in war. She was the one who memorized 2,000 hadiths. She's the one who's called the mother of all believers.
The prophet let her sin then? Because it's forbidden to play with dolls if you're a teenager.
No, but
so you let her sin?
Here's the problem.
You let her sin, right?
Here's the problem. Don't ask me a question that you're not going to like the answer to.
I'm giving you plenty of good answers.
No.
Have you heard of the study Evolution, Development, and the Timing of Puberty, which shows that in the Middle Ages and the medieval period, it's impossible, biologically speaking, for a girl to have reached the age of menarche by the age of 9? The earliest it started was 11.
You're telling me that Aisha radiallahu anha was 9 years old?
Yeah, that's what the hadith says, 5134 of Sahih al-Bukhari.
Are you ready to stand on Judgment Day to prove that to God?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, yeah,
so there's nothing to talk about.
For fuck's sake. It's lame when the Christians threaten us atheists with hell. Now it's like there's a Muslim threatening a Christian with God. Like, dude, that is also lame.
It's weird.
It's weird. And yes, there are cases of precocious puberty, but that's not how that was their measure, right? When when ladies or young girls started menstruating, they were considered kind of like women, right? because that showed that their reproductive system was working. We don't do that anymore. So it's just wild to consider that. And even if it was a precocious puberty, it still doesn't get you out of the issue that kids are kids. But this conversation is just I honestly dislike people who criticize Islam just based on that. I think it's low hanging fruit.
Okay.
All right, great.
Because
So
I'm not a hadith scholar, and I definitely don't take every single hadith literally. I, as a Muslim, have my own personal opinions, and I'm allowed to have that. I believe Aisha radiallahu anha was 19 years old when the marriage was consummated, and she got married when she was 17. Some sources say 16.
well, let's
So
go to
I believe
something
she was
else.
late teens as well.
Now, I mean, I guess sure if you can cite the hadith, but then people can
No,
cite the other hadith.
He
So
believes it. No, there's no real evidence for this.
yeah,
I think that's okay if you want to believe it, but it's like, then maybe you shouldn't
Yes.
come to these debates. Like, you shouldn't be going to places where you need evidence. Like, you can't just say, well, I believe this thing and that makes it true, and then he has the right to do the same, and you don't have a right to critique him. It's like you put yourself in a tough spot, you know.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
You
wild.
want me, you, do you want,
Do
are
you
you going to
believe-
ask me for evidence?
Do you believe in
Would you like
tafsirs?
that?
Do you believe in the tafsirs?
He knows I have evidence. That's why he's not asking me for it.
He's just going to show evidence that his hadith contradict themselves. Great. That's wonderful. Islam is filled with contradictions.
I dare you when you go home to ask ChatGPT.
IP, the Bible is filled with contradictions too. That's not a measure of anything, really.
How old was Aisha when she got married according to Asma's age? This ends your entire narrative behind this marriage.
I'm perfectly,
One marriage.
I'm
of
perfectly
the
fine
Prophet.
saying the hadith are filled with contradictions. I'm perfectly fine with that. But what do you think of the tafsirs like Ibn Kathir? Do you agree with his tafsir?
I have a tafsir of the Quran right here, okay? And all a tafsir means is explanation.
Okay, then can you
A
read
certain-
Surah 65:4?
A certain publisher. Sure, I can read
Yeah, read it in
Surah
English because
65.
you guys can't
This
read
is
anything. you know.
Beautiful. I'm glad you're asking me to read the Quran.
Yeah, read Surah 65:4, and then I want to read Ibn Kathir's tafsir about that one.
Sure.
65:4, please. Just want to apologize to the audience. Apparently, my career is
65:4.
over. So awful, man. 65:4.
This is the command of Allah that He has sent down to you, and whoever fears Allah, He will write off his evil deeds and will give him a huge reward. Is that the right verse?
I don't know. Is it? Because I have the tafsirs up here, and they're talking.
You want me to read the verse before it? Verse before it. And those women from among
There it
you who have despaired of further menstruation, if you are in doubt, their iddah is 3 months, as well as of those who have not yet menstruated,
Not yet.
those who have a medical condition. As for those having pregnancy, their term of iddah is that they give birth to their child.
Is medical conditions in the Arabic?
I'll read you the tafsir here because I'm not going to give you my own.
Oh, I'll give you mine then after that.
You're not a Muslim scholar.
Neither
This
are you.
is in this.
The bearded doctor. I don't believe in those typological kind of things. Jesus was not called Emmanuel, and proper names don't change like that. Sorry, I honestly can't accept, and we can agree to disagree. But also, the main contention is that is a prophecy about the people of Israel, the nation of Israel, not Jesus. That's what Justin would argue, and I think I agree. I agree. I think he's right on this, and you're incorrect.
This kind of
Take your time. It's all right.
I'm trying to make sure I read the right.
That's fine.
Verse. Iddah in this verse means the period in which a divorcee woman cannot marry another man. For a divorcee woman, this period is 3 full periods of menstruation. So this verse specifically talks about divorcees, and the chapter is called the divorce.
All right, let's read what.
Guys, remember that yesterday we were baffled by the Y thing. I wrote to Dan from Creation Myths, and he said that he would be willing to come on to explain the Y chromosome thing. And he says that Donnie has no signs of having any idea what he's talking about, despite having it directly explained to him multiple times. So we might get an explanation of that thing that we had doubts yesterday. So I want to thank, who was it? Give me 1 second. I'll let you know in just a moment who actually suggested. Boom, boom, boom. 1 sec. Opening the video. Bikini Atrol. So Bikini Atrol, thank you so much. We're going to schedule that with Dan, and we will get our explanation. That is epic. Thank you so much.
Ibn Kathir says on this verse, he says, so for example, her iddah is 3 months instead of the 3 monthly cycle for those who menstruate, which is based upon the ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, the same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. So it doesn't just say divorced or women with medical conditions. It includes young girls who have not yet menstruated. Therefore, Allah gives permission for child marriage. You can apparently, if you're a Muslim man, marry a girl even if she has not menstruated, which is abhorrently evil.
Is this really what you took away from a chapter about divorce? What I read is like the husband are obligated to provide residence to their divorcees' wives during the period of iddah. So even if you divorce your wife, you're supposed to keep her in your house and provide for her and give her shelter and feed her for 3 months. What does the Bible say about a man who rapes a virgin?
It doesn't say that, but you know more than Ibn Kathir?
No, it does.
I want to say one point on this.
You got it. Yeah.
Jvnior wants to get to make up whatever his explanations are for the Quran. He gets to interpret it however he wants. Then what he does is like he gives his own interpretation. There's no methodology to his interpretation. He's just like, this is my interpretation. And he's like, well, what about how bad the Bible is? And I'm like, Jvnior, have one big problem, though. If I was a Christian debater, which I don't know why these Christian debaters don't do this, I would play the Islamic dilemma. I'd be like, okay, you don't like what the Bible says. Well, guess what? You're stuck with it. It's your book too. You have to believe in this book. So you're shooting yourself in the foot. I don't believe in your book. I'm not trapped by your book. So I get to critique your book, but you can't critique my book because your religion believes in my book. And that's a checkmate. That's what they need to do.
But Jvnior holds to the position of being of the corruption, I think.
Well, then you still win. You say, oh,
yeah,
you believe the book is corrupted, so your version of God is inferior to my version of God. My God believes that all these books are true. Whatever God reveals to the prophets can never be corrupted. They can never be taken. Your God is either a deceiver or a weakling. See, even if he plays that role, it's even worse for him.
Yeah.
It's better to just say, okay, I'm going to stick with the text. But if he says that the book is corrupted, that's why I hate that position. When Salafis say the Bible is corrupted, I'm like, dude, you've dug your hole and buried yourself in the grave. You're done. You're done, son. When you say the Bible is corrupted, you're saying your religion is trash. You're saying your God is trash. Your religion is trash. It's a terrible position. And I don't like these people. I don't want to be mean, but I don't know if they're very smart. Like they're not long distance thinkers. They might be a short thinker where they're like, oh, well, I'm preserving the Quran in this moment. I'm like, but you're not preserving Islam in the long run. If we put your position all the way down, Islam fails badly. You do not want to take this position at all. And it's so funny. I'm like the only person when I go on the Christian channel, I'm like, dude, these people are idiots. Do they actually think that this argument is good? Where they're like, the Bible is corrupted, and they insult the Bible. I'm like, well, the Bible's corrupted. I'm like, okay, that means your God is corrupted. That's really bad, dude. That's a really, really bad position. And so I'm like, IP is not taking the smart position here. Debate needs to be pimped too. That's what I would have done as IP. I'm like, you don't even have to do any work to defend the Bible. All you have to do is say, okay, right, fine. All this stuff is bad. That's your holy book, bro. That's one of your holy books. This book is your holy book. And then Jvnior says, well, I want you to know it's corrupted. It used to be true. Oh, so your God allows for his own words to be corrupted? That's your God?
Now you are like directly contradicting the Quran twice, because the Quran affirms the previous scripture and also says that God's word cannot be corrupted.
That's
so
it.
You're that's a double contradiction. Like you just shot yourself twice.
That's what I would have done. And I'm like, you're done. There's no way you can get out of it. And I'm like, the Christian debaters can be, and they don't have to defend Christianity. The thing is, they use Islam against Islam. of his
Yeah,
version of
pretty
Islam.
much.
And I'm like, you don't even have to defend Christianity. You're like, this is your religion too, bro. This is your religion. And you're crapping on your own religion. So I'm like,
I honestly don't know if to commend IP or actually bash him, because the Bible does actually say that if a man assaults a woman that is a virgin, he's supposed to give the parent like 50 coins
50
and
shekels.
then marry her forever, which is appalling. Like someone was abused and now they're forced to be with their abuser forever. That makes absolutely no sense.
that's correct.
So I'm not sure if I am impressed that he dodged it with a great movement of the Latin hips, or if I should bash him because it's a very dishonest thing to like completely avoid it. So
Again,
yeah, I don't know. I
think
don't know.
IP didn't do a good Christian debate position here.
No.
All he has to do is say, look, you're stuck with the Torah, man. These are your prophets, man. Your prophet said this stuff. You're not insulting me. You're insulting your God. You're insulting our God because we're supposed to believe in the same God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I should be a Christian debater, man.
Don't deflect.
You know more than Ibn Kathir?
Don't deflect.
You didn't give me a verse,
I
but do you know more
literally
than Ibn
asked
Kathir?
I'm reading the tafsir from the Quran. I literally
Me
told
too.
you, you're not a Muslim scholar. You will never understand what idda means. You don't even understand the root word of idda.
Okay, so you know more than Ibn Kathir. I just want to verify,
Do you
right?
even know what the word idda means?
You know more than Ibn Kathir. He won't answer the question. So yeah, so he knows.
I
if he
don't know
knows-
more than Ibn
Then
Kathir.
Ibn Kathir says you can have sex with prepubescent girls.
Ibn Kathir never said that.
I just read it to you. The same for the young, those who have not reached the years of menstruation. Tafsir on Surah 65:4.
Okay. How many women around the world have never menstruated? Do you deny their rights as women?
No,
The Quran doesn't.
Okay.
That's why it mentions them.
that has nothing to do with my point. I
If-
mean,
What the fuck? Like what? Like he's desperately flailing right now. It's amazing.
The Quran was mentioning young children, it would have said children. It wouldn't have used the word woman.
yeah, it talks
You
about those who
understand?
have not menstruated, which would include children.
There are women who have never
Yeah,
menstruated.
they're in that category too. It includes the young girls.
They're not children.
Yeah, I know. It includes those who have not menstruated, some women, and also the young girls.
So where does Ibn Kathir say that?
I just read it to you in his
You want to
tafsir.
read it again?
The same for the
Read it
young who
again.
have not reached the years of menstruation. Ibn Abbas said something similar. He says, what about the waiting period for those who have not menstruated because they are too young, along with those who have not? Because of young age, their waiting period is 3 months.
Okay. So these are divorcees, right?
No,
No.
you're divorcing them that young. I mean,
No.
man, that's even
This-
worse.
this-
They're
this-
going through multiple marriages.
this-
This is abuse.
This chapter is literally about divorcees.
Okay.
You deny that. You just said no.
I
it's
didn't say
not.
that. I said it includes them.
You said that this chapter's interpretation leads to Muslims saying I can fuck a child. That's what you're saying. A Muslim is not allowed to fuck a child.
And why is
A
it
Muslim who
serious?
fucks a child will be beheaded and shot.
I hope so.
This is all cringe.
It's really stupid. No,
This is both sides.
no, yeah, this was a really bad exchange. I'm like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't smooth. If IP took my position, he would have looked real sexy. But instead he was like, I'm gonna get involved in the anger and throwing. And it's like, well, if someone does this, let's kill them. I'm like, dude, we're supposed to be civilized citizens, man.
Yeah.
If someone does something like that, you know what happens? They go to jail. You don't kill your citizens.
No. I mean,
That's what
I am
uncivilized
strongly against the death penalty.
Me too.
Mostly my argument is like a silly stupid thing that I say. It's like we kill people who kill people because killing people is wrong, and that makes no sense to me. Like,
And that's their position. It's like a non sequitur. It's really dumb and it's stupid, and it just shows people who do it are uncivilized. That's what I would say. You're an uncivilized rabble rouser, you know, like, and it's like you're saying I'm a Christian who murders, and I'm like, your own book is against this. Like when a Christian promotes this, I'm like, what did Jesus say about the adulteress? That like you're done. And it's like I see a lot of these Christians are like, yes, we can kill people. I'm like, Jesus said that ye who has no sin cast the first stone. That's John 8:7. You don't get death penalty. Christians don't get that because you're opposing your own God when you do that.
mm,
And if you do that, then I'm like, you're in rebellion against Christ. That's what I would say. Christians who promote death penalty are in rebellion against Christ. And I'll stand by that, you know?
yeah. Yeah, it does seem. I honestly couldn't care less what Jesus said, but you are right. Like
If from a
from the
Christian point of
Christian
view.
standpoint, you are correct in my
Yeah.
opinion.
They're in rebellion against
Yes.
Christ.
Amen,
So
brother. Amen.
why isn't the law in America reflecting that? Why do you guys have pedophiles that are celebrated like Jeffrey Epstein all around the media?
Oh my fucking god, we're going. In Spanish, we have a saying. We go from Guatemala because mala means bad. We go from Guatemala to Guatepeor, which is it would be Guate worse. So we go from Guate bad to Guate worse, and that's what Junior is doing. He's like digging a hole inside of another hole. This
right.
is so bad.
And I want to say one more point too.
You got
The
it?
point of Christianity is redemption. You're supposed to have the chance to be born again.
Yeah.
That is what the New Testament teaches. So I'm like, do these people not know what the New Testament teaches? Like, or do all it is that Jesus is just some idea. You know, he's this kind of picture of this guy with long flowing hair and a nice smile, and that's it. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if these people even care about Jesus or even
It
care
also it comes up, I think, in just a few minutes that some stuff that David Wood did and talking about redemption and so on. But yeah, in general, we believe that if you pay the time for your crime, then and you don't do it again, then you are somewhat redeemed. I, for example, I mean, this touches very closely on us because it literally happened to us. And there are some things that I couldn't overlook. That is one of them. But I don't think it's a personal thing. I don't think that they should be like completely excluded from society as a whole. Just basically the restrictions that we put on people who have committed this kind of crime. I think that's fair, but I think that they should be able to get a job and so on, as long as they have like almost no contact with underage people.
And I think our point too is that if someone does do this, they can get redemption, but that doesn't mean you need to be near that person or associate with that person. Do you get what I mean? Because you could say, look, you did this thing, you did the time, but you know, if you're in a business, maybe you just don't want to associate with that person, you know, and you have a right to do that. That doesn't mean you didn't get redemption, doesn't mean you didn't pay the time for the crime, but that's just those things. There is fallouts, there are ramifications for your actions that may be larger than just punishment and you know.
Yeah, and I wouldn't fault anyone for saying, oh, you did this crime, I don't want to be associated with you. That's your personal right. I mean, but you can do that for anyone. It's like, oh, you're a Nazi, I don't want to be associated with you. You can still be a Nazi, but like far away from me, please.
Exactly. They need to get more with this.
Everyone used to be around him. All of your favorite athletes and pastors and favorite influencers, they all did business.
I'm sure
and went to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
I'm sure we're all.
Basil says for $5, thank you so much. F1 is not a sport. Check out road cycling. Now, I agree. But that being said, if you watch the Netflix special on Formula One, you will see that these guys, the training they go through is pretty intense, because when you're having to withstand in your body like 5 Gs or 8 Gs of deceleration in like 1 second, when you're going from 300 kilometers per hour to 100, I mean, it is pretty impressive. I love racing. I love Formula One. Road cycling, it is also, but it doesn't have the same appeal to me. I love the technology and so on. Okay, I will. I'll try.
Celebrating the elite pedophiles we want thrown in prison.
Let's just say the Epstein files haven't been released. for a good reason, because there's a lot of Christians and Jews on there.
I'm sure there
Not a
are
single
plenty
Muslim
of
on the
horrible
Epstein
people
list,
on that
okay?
list.
There's not a single Muslim on the Epstein list.
Yeah, because they don't have to
How do
stay
you know
hidden. They
that?
just go to a Muslim country and do it,
Wait
apparently.
a second. How does he know that?
Oh my God, this is just the
There's-
worst.
There's no evidence for that. You're just making an
This
assertion.
this is just the worst. The freaking worst. This exchange is absolutely horrible.
No, it's really bad.
I mean, what's the point here?
Look,
The
Michael,
point is that in America, they have to hide if they're running around with their billions and hide because they know if we see it, we know what's going to happen. The pitchforks will come out. That's why they're trying to hide this, because they know that in this society, we condemn that. Meanwhile, you go to Iraq.
I'll put 2 times speed on this. This is really awful, man.
Yeah, you got it.
Let's get to some of the more interesting stuff. This is really bad.
What's the age of a marriage in Iraq right now?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's pretty low, like 15 or 12, depending on Sunni or Shia or Sunni.
15 is low for you?
Yeah, it's low. Yeah.
What about Sam Shamoon?
Yeah, he's evil.
What about David Wood?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's so bad.
Like, what about isms about people's personal life?
But yeah,
I'm
he
glad
was
we're
evil.
playing so
They both
2.0.
raped
It's
under
really
15.
bad.
Yeah, this is just the worst.
Yeah, what they did was evil. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you condemn them?
Yes, I do condemn it. Yes.
Would you accept them into your church?
Depends. Because in Christianity, we have to look at things. Did they repent? Did they serve their time? Did they go through spiritual penance? Have they been forgiven? Yes, in Christianity, we believe that if you go to prison, you serve out your spiritual penance, you repent, you accept Christianity, and then you show that you have actually reformed, like being married to someone for decades and not cheat on them, then yes, we accept them back into the fold the same way.
For all the awfulness that was the exchange, I think that is a great response to that objection.
I agree.
Oh, in Islam, right?
Great. Okay. So when a chapter comes up as a revelation about divorce, don't you think it's for people who have made mistakes?
Not
When
according to your scholars.
The Bible condemns divorce. The Bible condemns divorce.
Yeah.
Divorce is a bad thing to begin with.
Amen. Preach,
It's not
brother.
a good thing.
Preach, brother.
Half of American families.
Well, because the conception of marriage is that it's a bond until death do us apart. But that being said, you are justified, like the Bible grants some provisions in why divorce would be acceptable. The one that I remember the most is adultery. You can divorce someone who has been unfaithful to you because as part of that till death do us apart commitment, being faithful is a big part of that thing, right? So Jvnior is like completely drowning right now.
Our divorce. It's not a good.
It's horrible. Yes.
It's horrible. We should be crying right now, not laughing. My goal is to fix America. My goal as a Muslim, I want to speak. I want to put my face out there for the sake of God, the God of Jesus, so that I can make this country better. I hope that today I came and proved that. Michael.
No, you didn't. You failed.
You literally didn't tell me what the age of marriage is in the Bible.
Because in the Bible, we have virtue ethics. You know what that is?
Virtue ethics.
You know what that is?
There's not a single verse that mentions virtue ethics in the Bible.
But that's because it's called an interpretation.
So
Kind of like how
you're
Tawhid is
heretic
in the
right
Quran,
now?
right?
Are you heretical?
This is so bad. And dude, it's like the Captain Kirk stuff. It's getting a bit old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I want you to know about what I am saying. Like he's doing the Captain Kirk, and it's a little too much. Maybe it was okay in the beginning, but it's too much of it.
Are you preaching right now?
Only if Tawhid is heretical, because it's not in the Quran.
Tawheed is heretical.
I'm asking you, if it doesn't say the specific words, does that mean it's a heresy?
Topic.
Tawheed means
Yeah, they've been jumping. Like they're so outside of the debate.
Like who cares?
oneness.
Where is it in the Quran? Where does it say Tawhid?
Oneness. Okay.
Okay, right.
You said,
Virtues
you
of the
said
Bible,
virtue,
same thing.
ethics.
Yep. You know what that
Those
is?
two words do not show up in the Bible at all.
Doesn't
Virtue,
matter.
ethics do not show up in the Bible.
Doesn't matter.
Oneness of God is literally in the final chapter of the Quran, chapter 114, verse 1 to 4. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ.
All right.
Say Allah is one. Say God is one.
Okay,
He does not beget, nor does he begot. He wasn't begotten, nor does he beget.
So if you
He
go to
is the most
Ezekiel,
firm
if
and
you go
does
to
not depend on anyone, and he has no partners.
okay,
This is
done.
a Quran chapter, okay,
That is
that
irrelevant.
literally speaks about Tawheed.
Okay, if you want to know
You're
about
gonna ignore it.
you don't know what the Bible says.
You don't
about-
care.
I agree with this. Saudi Prince Salman is all over the files, as there are many other Muslims and Jews in the files and Christians. It's not a religious exclusionary thing. It's just a list of terrible people in all
And
religions.
Christians,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Are part of it too.
I agree. And the other day, Basil let me know that Lawrence Krauss is in there, who's an atheist. Like, yeah, I wouldn't hold something like that on the religion, because these are just awful people. So, I mean, just blaming the religion for what individuals do, that is just asinine.
I agree.
James.
What is
What?
this? Is
I
back
do
and
want-
forth. What are you
I do
complaining to
want-
James about?
I do want to go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, James. I appreciate that. He's such a swell fellow. So he talks about age of consent in the Bible. We can go to Ezekiel 16. So
There
here's
is no age of consent in the Bible. Period.
James.
I do want to give Mike a chance to finish his sentence though. So
IP, come on, like Ryan! No, don't be a bitch.
Yeah, and this backfires for him. It's really wrong.
if he's mid-sentence, that's where it's.
Thank you, James. You're a swell fellow over there. All right. So Ezekiel 16, we see an analogy between God and Israel. Okay. And this is where it talks about, and scholars have noted this. I noted this in my debate with Daniel Kikachu, that what the Bible says is lovemaking cannot occur until after puberty is complete. So it talks about when I pass by you again, behold, you are at age for love. And it talks about this is after puberty is complete. You read starting from verse 5 and you read to verse 8. You'll see that. So scholars have noted this. So when is puberty complete for girls? It's not complete until the ages of 15 to 17. That's why we legally assign adulthood at 18. That's the age right after. So if you're going to go on the principles of the Bible, sex cannot occur until after puberty is complete.
That is just lame apologetic. Sorry, because I mean you can tell when puberty starts, but you really can't tell when puberty finishes. Like I still think I'm going through puberty because I still have the same impulses that I did when I was 11, right? So, yeah, this is just a silly thing to say.
Okay, based on the principles of the Bible. When is that basically done? 18, because again, it's completed during the ages of 15 to 17. That's when hip development is complete. That's why we sign adulthood at 18, because that's right after the age is complete. So, principles of the Bible, based on God's analogy.
Right, yeah, because the ancient Hebrews and the ancient Christians knew a lot about hip development, right? And they had x-rays. This is just stupid.
Ezekiel 16, okay, he doesn't pass by Jerusalem until after all of that is complete, till she's fully formed, is what he says. So there's the age of consent.
So why are there women getting married before puberty in the Bible? Can you answer that one? Where?
Is it a description or a prescription?
Here's the problem, Michael.
The bearded doctor said, my wife calls menopause cougar puberty. I mean, I am a little bit of I always like them older. And let me tell you that women going through menopause are a whole other game.
Oh, boy.
You said that women should not have sex before puberty. I agree, but women should not have sex before marriage either. And a lot of women get married before puberty. That is a common thing in societies with a short lifespan. When the lifespan of a human being is 40 years old, don't cut me out. James.
I think he self-restrained himself. He was gonna
In a society where the average lifespan is 40 years old, the woman is going to get married before puberty.
What data shows?
I do.
Every single historical...
Really?
Dude, girls, recent divorcees with a grudge.
Really? Yeah, really. Because I got studies that say that doesn't happen.
Look, we can do the semantics, we can do the fun stuff, but I'm talking seriously right now. The Quran, Ibn Kathir never said to have sex with a child. Ibn Kathir never said to have sex before puberty. Ibn Kathir never said to have sex before marriage. These are all contradictory to the doctrine of the Quran.
So you said that it was a common thing. What about what Brent Shaw says in The Age of Roman Girls at Marriage, Some Considerations? What about what Michael Sattler says in Jewish Marriage and Antiquity? All of these guys are pointing out that, no, it was late teens to early 20s when girls in the ancient world were getting married on average.
Okay.
No, I mean, I smell lame apologetics. Like, I smell it from here. This is just bullshit.
Hey, Michael, based on your argument, the laws of the Bible change, which I don't agree with because I don't think the law of God changes. But you're trying to make the argument. You're trying to make the argument that, oh, if the age
You would be wrong.
of puberty is 12, so she's going to get married at 15, 17, and the legal age is 18. So let's just move those numbers around whenever we want. And it's not based on anything fixed.
Like science?
But I say it's science. The lifespan of a human being is what you're supposed to base the age of marriage on, not on your opinions.
Seriously?
You don't even have a verse in the Bible that tells you what age to marry. You based it based on puberty. What? There are
You know
girls
what-
in the Bible who get married before puberty.
Hey, audience, you know what I love about
Does
the
the
Bible?
Bible contradict itself, Michael?
You know
Or
what I
are
love about
you
the
a
Bible,
liar?
guys? The Bible
Yeah.
doesn't think you're an idiot. It thinks you can rationally infer from the principles it lays out, and you can use science in the natural to help you understand what is sinful. That's what's good about the Bible that God gave us. He considers you a rational soul, and you don't have to be led along like a toddler. Oh, this age is okay. That's why Islam is too restrictive. It's basically the ethics of the 7th century, doesn't allow for moral progress, doesn't allow us to reason from the harm we see in scientific research, whereas in Christianity, there's flexibility, but still guidance, and that is why we see far better results coming out of Christian societies than whatever Islam came up
Is
with.
it flexibility when the Bible tells a rapist to marry the virgin that he raped and pay her father 50 silver shekels?
Where did God say that? You're going to go Deuteronomy 20.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That lame dodge.
God didn't say that. Someone wrote that in the Bible, and you claim that that is the word of God.
Why don't you read the prayer verses?
Okay.
Yeah, read the prayer verses about the woman in the field.
Woman in the field.
Yeah, that all of that is bad. All of that. That's all bad.
Oh, this
So
is
I
such
just
a
told you.
waste.
But
I'm
like
sorry. This is such a waste of a debate. Like this part
Yes.
here is so like the last 20 minutes have been useless and have got us nowhere.
yeah, pretty much. How much does this have left?
I
Oh,
want
shit.
you to hear about
It has a long time left. What the fuck?
yeah, I know it's wild. I want you to hear about the E-bomb though. Like what he says about the E-bomb, we got to get to that part. Like that's crucial.
Do you know where? Do you have any idea where that is?
Well, why don't we keep watching and skip ahead? If we think it's boring, we'll just skip ahead.
Hold on. Do you remember something they said?
They basically talk about like he's like I want you to know you have LGBTQ in Christianity. All the churches are you all love gay. But guess
Oh,
what?
but that happened already.
No, he says something else though about he didn't say the thing about the imam though, where he said you've got gay pastors. Do we have gay imams? No, we don't have gay imams.
Hold on. Let me see if this works. Yeah, gay past. Fucking.
We can keep it
Chrome.
going. You just try to skip ahead.
Yeah, but the race is about to start.
Oh really? Oh my shoot! It's like 4 minutes. That's crazy.
Yes. Give me 1 second. I'm moving browsers because in Firefox you can actually search the whole transcript.
Yeah, Basil's funny. I agree with Basil. Actually, this is a funny line that he said here. Yeah.
Which of the debate cons were educational? That's a great question.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, one could make the argument that, for example, this debate is educational in how not to debate,
yeah, I agree.
right?
Mhm.
That could be an argument. Gay pastor. Okay, favorite athletes and pastors. The next one. Here. 139.56.
Cool. So it's towards the end. And then we'll go to the very end and you can see my question. So
You got it.
let's just do that and then we'll be done.
Yep.
This debate was pretty bad, actually.
Holy shit.
It's
yeah.
worse than I imagined. It's worse than I remember it.
17 to 18. None of the daughters of Israel shall be a prostitute, but you may bring the earnings of a prostitute to the house of the Lord. Society in America is collapsing because people like Michael think polygamy.
Basil, Las Vegas is a playground of sin. Shame on you. Oh my God. When I get loose in Las Vegas.
Having multiple wives. If you're a rich guy, you can provide for multiple women. No, don't do that. It's bad. Even though the Bible never condemned polygamy. So Michael heretically says polygamy is worse than prostitution. He thinks polygamy is bad, but prostitution is good because he never brought it up. Prostitution in America is OnlyFans. OnlyFans is owned by a chosen person by God.
Oh, God.
And
the anti-Semitism.
America is suffering from this.
Yeah, but I mean, OnlyFans takes people out of the inherent abuse that there is in the regular porn industry. So one would say that it's actually a benefit for society.
He says a lot of contradictions here. We missed the other thing.
Yeah, bunch.
He said his mom is a Christian, but why does he hate Christianity? He said, I respect Christianity. My mom's a Christian, but now he's crapping on Christianity. Makes no sense. Yeah. And listen, let's continue. This is crazy.
Crisis. But Michael wants to talk about polygamy instead. Michael thinks he is better for humanity than someone like me. I have a few more years, on you. I don't know how old you are. I'm 27 years old. You look like you're 45, but I hope you're younger than that. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm pretty sure
Lame.
you didn't sleep just like me, so maybe that's why you look like that. But Joshua 2 verse 1, Rahab in the Bible is directly called a prostitute. Christianity has a big problem. Okay, it allows too much. It doesn't punish enough, and it's not strict. That's why you have rainbow flags in the church. That's why you have queer pastors. Queer imam, gone the next day.
I mean, Isa showed us there are queer imams, and I've been talking about the secret homosexual parties that happen all across the Muslim world. So just because it's hidden doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
That's correct.
Send him back to his maker. I'm not afraid to say that.
Listen.
You think that's against the law?
I'm sorry?
Listen to this thing. Rewind just
Yeah.
a second. This is insane what he says. This was the most horrendous thing I heard in this debate.
Strict. That's why you have rainbow flags in the church. That's why you have queer pastors. Queer imam, gone the next day. Send him back to his maker. I'm not afraid to say that. You think that's against the law? To send someone?
I mean, yeah, you're in America, dude. Oh no.
This is what I'm saying. This is criminal what he just said. When I heard this statement, see, you probably missed the statement, but when I heard it, I said, this is red flags. He's like, let's work. I'm calling for the murder.
Yeah,
of
like
people.
literal extrajudicial killing of people. Like, no, that's a big no-no in America, my guy. In America and most of the rest of the world, like of the civilized world. Sorry, I had to.
Back to their maker. The U.S. Department of Justice just used that word on a pedophile. And I'm glad to see America's changing and adopting Sharia law. I'm glad to see Sharia law being implemented. I'm glad
You can just say Sharia.
to see Christians on X saying ban porn. That's Sharia law.
No. Number one, it will never happen. And number two, you can just say Sharia.
Sharia law means divine law. The word Sharia might be scary because I know Americans, they're not the friendliest with Arabs because of 9/11, because of, everything that's happened. And I could use the same excuse, when it comes to Palestine, like you guys genocided my country, but I don't see like
for
hostility
fuck's
towards all of you.
sake!
None of you have killed my family members. Michael didn't kill my family member. Michael's a great person.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, let's go to the end. We can go to the very end. Yeah. Oh, who's that guy right there?
I see him. I see him here.
Okay. Jesus said, Mike is not a biblical thing. Thank you for your question.
Junior, one quick correction. Sort of the class is 112, not 114. I know it's on the stage. My question is, in one sentence, why do you feel Islam or Christianity is the best for society?
Because I know as a young American individual, I can implement the best policies in this country that will earn everyone's freedom and earn everyone's best standard of living. And that's all I care about. I do not care what you believe in. I do not care who you are, what your name is, what your gender is, what you identify as. All I want for you is to make it to heaven and earn God's salvation.
Yeah, you can keep that. I would not like that at all. Mike from the Drunk Debunk Show says, "Now that's a handsome man in a shirt, in a nice shirt." I'll try to see if we, because I really like the sky blue, but it has to be like that specific shade because it's the one that matches the. Yeah. I need to see if they will partner up, like if we can do like a referral kind of a thing, because it has to be like that specific shade of sky blue. But I'm glad that you guys like the design of the shirt.
Who can't say that?
That was
I
the
can
best
say
part
that
of
to
the debate,
every
right?
Yeah. Like he's so cooked.
single human being in the world.
This is what sentence.
Baso, would you wear your Yerba Mate Talks t-shirt?
Because I don't want to see flesh burn. I've seen my own family's
I
flesh
agree.
burn. Thank you.
I agree. I want everyone to be saved.
We are actually going to wrap up with that.
All right.
That was a beautiful debate, wasn't it?
Holy
We learned
cow.
so much from that debate. It was so profound. And the best actor in the entire debate, Yerba Mate Talk shirt, right?
Yes.
Right at the very end. I was like, we got to plug your Yerba Mate Talks here.
Basil says at every DebateCon, let's go. But out on the street? That's a real question.
100%.
Isa, final thoughts.
The thing that really, really disturbed me was send him back to his maker. When I heard that line, I felt horror, I felt dread. And what did this person do? This imam happened to be gay. If an imam happens to be gay, take him out. It's okay. Is it wrong for me to say that? No, America does it. And I was like, this is why people are afraid of Arabs and they're afraid of Muslims, is that statement there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think I'm like, that really sinks you, man. That line really, really sinks you. I think, honestly, I agree with you that I don't necessarily think IP did such a great job after listening to the debate again. I think IB did have some witty retorts at certain points.
A couple, yeah.
But I don't think Jvnior really had no highlights at all in this debate.
No.
He had that horrific statement, which makes him lose points. He lost like 100 points, like 20, I'd say 100 points he loses for that. Calling for the execution of people, that's calling for, it's like, if you were like an evangelical person, that's like deport. That's like a deport line. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Pretty much.
You know, and it's like, go back to Palestine. It's like, that's that kind of line means that, you know, and I wouldn't say that. I think Jvnior needs help. I encourage him to get therapy because I felt there was a lot of trauma dumping.
Yes.
Trauma dump would have been what I felt this thing. I feel Palestine was a very manipulative statement here, and using the word Mossad. No accountability.
Yeah, it was all just like his own psychological problems, like an endless stream of consciousness, like just literally streaming out his problems. And like, dude, Jvnior, you need to go to the psychologist. You need therapy. You need to talk through this stuff with a professional. Because, like, dude, you need help. And there's no shame in that. But a debate is no place to go and trauma dump. Like,
and X isn't
not
either.
at all.
Instagram and X aren't either. Like, these social media platforms are not platforms of therapy. And he said, I get lots of comments. And I'm like, that's not a good thing. Because you're in a world of, it's a cycle of toxicity. And we saw the toxicity there. And it's like he's being reinforced in these toxic spaces. And it's not good. And what he said about, I don't know, the thing about, like, he said his mom was Christian. We didn't hear that point. But that's an important point, too, where he's like, but then she converted to Islam. And I'm like, and then you're crapping on your mom's tradition. You're crapping on your mom's family. And I'm like,
right.
Like, how do you feel about that?
It would be like you arguing against Judaism, but like, dude, you're completely annulling your multicultural heritage, which is a beautiful thing to be multicultural. Yeah. Like, I love that I am a Uruguayan that has, even though I've never been to the States, I have some Americanized traits of my personality. And it's no shame in any of that, right?
I agree with you. And I think you should own it. Have your multiculturalism. It's a good thing. But, like, the way that he did it, it was painful. And, like, him bringing up the Mossad tattoo, there was, like, lots of really negative highlights where he just loses points in my book. The Mossad tattoo, I'm like, dude, Hebrew isn't Mossad. And I'm like, I get your pain. You have trauma. Yeah. But you didn't see the debate. I don't know if they have the debate here with
discrimination is not a good response to trauma.
Exactly. Because then it's like, then you basically justify your trauma. You're like, I'm a big hater too. So it's okay for me to be hated on. Like, you're right. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But it's like, I was thinking about Jvnior's position, and he was like, I don't know if they have the debate with him in AP. We need to see that debate. That's
that one. Yeah, that will inevitably come up, because this one was the ones that happened in the side room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, what happened with in that debate is he defends Hamas. He says Hamas is resistance. And I'm like, if you want to say Hamas is resistance, really the whole crisis that what you're calling genocide now happens because of Hamas's actions. Hamas decided to invade Israel. Israel would have no justification for attacking Gaza. Hamas decided to attack Israel. This is a reprisal attack. So I'm like, You can't be upset that your resistance did a resistance and then you're paying the price of that resistance, because that is what happened. And it's like, I don't know. I love Palestinian people. I love Palestine. I love all of this stuff, but I can't deal with the lies. I can't deal with the lie where you're like, I'm innocent and these people are guilty. And I'm like, but you attack these people. And then you say, well, for 75 years I've suffered. And I'm like, they can claim 100 years they've suffered. They can say, I've suffered under Islamic oppression for centuries. What do you say to that? You don't have an answer to that. You know what I mean? If you want to play the time game, you could play the same thing. You're like, I'm a part of this bigger Muslim collective. Then I'm like, well, then you have to pay the prices of what Muslims did to Jews. It's not been good. It's not been good throughout history. Sometimes Muslims were good to Jews. Sometimes Muslims were horrible to Jews. But you'll only hear Muslims say, we've been great to Jews. We've treated Jews correctly and lovely. And I'm like, not always. Not always.
I mean, what love was it there when you went and destroyed their freaking temple?
That's
right?
it. And then you basically didn't allow them to rebuild their spaces. You made them wear other clothes that were different than them. They had to pay a tax where they were second class. I'm like, this is not good. This is not noble. And I'm the only debater who defends Islam who will ever talk like this, because I'm honest. I won't lie to you. I won't deceive you. I won't try to make my story look good and make other stories look bad. I'm going to be like, look, this is what it is. They did bad things in history. Own it and then move on. Don't lie. Don't be deceptive. Don't say, oh, we were so good to Jews and Christians were so bad to Jews. No, you both were bad to Jews. You both oppressed Jews. You both made Jews second-class citizens. Just own it. Could you say the Muslims treated the Jews better in their second-class citizenship? Sure. But that's not a high bar. That's not a high bar for humanity.
No, at least they were treated better than the slaves. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
That's a low bar. It's a low bar.
All right, let me read a couple of messages. I think this debate was absolutely horrible.
Yes.
The Bearded Doctor said, I just noticed that your logo has moving steam on it. Well done. I didn't do it. It's David who is basically the all of the aesthetics of the channel we owe to David. He is the one that did all of the work. He is amazing. He's the one that does our emojis. I'm extremely grateful to David for his support and his hand in getting all of that done for us. Basil said, main first project sponsored my shirt wearing. Mike said, all I learned was that this guy didn't know how to debate and advertise it when he considered it at the very beginning, and that he has no value for human life, only implied he did because he was in a room full of people and wasn't hiding behind a keyboard. Yeah, I don't think you can say that you want the best for people when you just said that if an imam was gay, you would send him over to his maker. And Pablo said that I got hit with the how would you say? Yankees eyes in gray. But yeah, I've been working for US companies for 17 years. So that's a long time. And you absorb, and all of the media that I watch is American. So you absorb a lot of that when you're in a lot of contact with another culture that way. And finally, Basil for $5. Thank you so much. Do the Raquel Wilson versus FTFE debate next, a pinnacle of discourse. Yes, I got my hands on Raquel's book. I'm giving it a quick overview read to try and find the derpiest parts, the parts that she doesn't talk about. And yeah, I think we might do that one next. Still don't know when, but yeah. All right, people, with that, I'm going to watch the Formula One race. We already had crashes in the first lap. I'm going crazy. Thank you, everyone, for the support. Isa, thank you so much for, being my friend and part of the channel. Everyone over there in the chat, I can never thank you enough. Basil, special thanks particularly to you for all the support with super chats and so on. It's it's amazing. You're quite generous, I have to say. And now that we've ironed out some of the kinks in our relationship, and your people are growing fond of you, that people are starting to get you, and I think that's cool because you say very funny stuff from time to time. So thank you everyone. Mike, thank you for letting me hop in. James, it was a fun interview, and even though I wasn't actually prepared, I think we got some great questions in. So Mike, it's always fun when we collab. I think we complement each other pretty well in that sense. All right. Make sure to do the social thing is like, share, subscribe, send this to a friend, send this to your significant other, go to the corner, yes, the corner of your tweet, and you'll subscribe to Yerba Mate Talks. And that way we can share the lab for the channel. Tomorrow, probably flirting late, probably 9-10. But thank you, everyone. Going to watch the race. Love you all. Take care. Have a great night.